We as Muslims stand with President Trump because he promises peace.
President Trump about Somalis living in Minnesota.
Tonight, the president posted on Truth Social, quote, "I am, as president of the United States, hereby terminating, effective immediately, the temporary protected status for Somalis in Minnesota. Somali gangs are terrorizing the people of that great state, and billions of dollars are missing. Send them back to where they came from," end quote.
In this country, we do not blame the lawlessness of an individual on a whole community.
We love our brothers and sisters who are Democrats, but you left us. And because the left left us, join the right, vote for Trump 2024. Amigo, não tem problema, amigo. Eu não tenho problema, amigo. Hold on, please, man. Sorry. Move back. Out the way, Willis, out the way. You're gonna get knocked down. Move!
So I'm finding out that a lot of Muslims voted for Donald Trump. Like, are you serious? Oof! Like, you guys are forgetting that you guys are on the travel ban. Like, you guys are playing pick me, pick me, pick me. You guys are on a travel ban. Like, your country cannot come in. Like, are you serious? Oof!
Somali immigrants in America are in shock and in fear at the very man many of them supported, believing that he would protect them, has not turned against them. Donald Trump officially ended the TPS for Somalis, and for years, Somali families, they lived in the U.S., are dependent on TPS because their home country remained unsafe, unstable, and unlivable. TPS allowed them to work legally, to raise their kids peacefully, and to rebuild their lives. But now things have changed overnight. Now thousands of Somali immigrants, they risk losing their legal status, their right to work, and facing possible deportations back to a country they once fled for their lives. So let's get to see the reactions, then we come back with commentary, and kindly hit the subscribe button and share that in the comments, all right?
Trump said, what about Somalians? Roll a clip.
What do the Somalians have to do with this Afghan guy who shot the national?
Nothing, but Somalians have caused a lot of trouble. They're ripping us off for a lot of money. There's a tremendous amount of money going back to Somalia. What the hell are we paying money to Somalia for? But they're ripping off our country at a level that few people have been able to see before. Mm-hmm. That's about the only thing. You talk about competence. We have Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but complain about our country and our Constitution. And she comes from a country with practically no country. It's devastated, it's crime-ridden, it's a mess, it's a disgrace. And we took their people at a tremendous... We're not taking their people anymore. We're not taking their people. And we're getting a lot of their people out because they're nothing but trouble. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Go ahead.
Mr. Mango Mussolini has officially become the old white man and just start saying racist shit unprovoked. Hey, Grandpa, how was your Thanksgiving? The Pickaninnies from Somalia, we shouldn't let them into the country. And that Ilhan Omar, I can't even enjoy this dry-ass turkey because that black monkey is here in Minneapolis. And why do we even give money to Somalia? Don't mind that picture, I'm in the hotel room, but how much money have we given to Somalia compared to Israel? Y'all don't know this, but the United States helped destroy modern Somalia through a whole bunch of different military interventions. Don't tell nobody, though. The people in the back. The 1993 Black Hawk Down, that famous shit, that comes from Somalia, and that's a U.S. failed operation. Look it up. This man is the king of deflection. Instead of answering the questions that he's linked to about this Afghani person that came in and knocked down these old National Guards, he want to talk about Somalians and Ilhan Omar. Now imagine, them was one of your peoples and you in the National Guard and you're mourning them and you hope the president gonna say something meaningful about how much they contributed to the National Guard and to this old country's defense. And all he did was talk shit about Somalians and Ilhan Omar. I could be wrong, but I don't have confidence that Trump can even locate Somalia on the map. I think he just be talking, he just be yapping, he just be blabbering. This man can talk shit about the entirety of Somalia and Somalians, but you better not say something about Charlie Kirk.
In this country, We do not blame the lawlessness of an individual on a whole community. What we also know is that there is not a single evidence that the president or his coonies have put forth that there are any single resource from taxpayers in Minnesota that has gone to aid and abate terrorism. That language is dangerous. That language puts the lives of Somalis not only in Minnesota, but across the country in danger. And if the president believed that and he had evidence, he would take people to court. So we are sick and tired of the president waking up one day and deciding to put forth falsehoods and demonize whole communities, while the ignorant people that support him then take the lies that he's spreading and use it as a fact. We've seen it during the campaign where he said Asians were eating cats and dogs. We've seen his vice president repeat those lies. We've seen the media run it as a headline as if it was a fact. That is shameful. That is shameful. That is ignorant. It makes us look like a stupid nation that does not believe in truth but traffics in lies. It makes the world mock us, and we are better than that. We are better than that as Americans.
You know, like, the racists are actually just jealous of Somalis because of how successful we became in a matter of one generation. And I was watching a lot of videos that are coming up on my For You page where people are saying, how come Somalis have nice cars and we don't? We've been here like how many generations? We were born here, our ancestors are from here, but Somalis drive nice cars. This whole thing is just making me realize is jealousy. They're jealous of our success because they expect us like to be at the bottom of the bottom, right? And then we come here one generation, we work hard, we save our money. And Somalis are not the only community that committed fraud, okay? We're not all committing fraud, okay? Every community has bad apples, but they're trying to use that as leverage to hate on us, right? And attack our community. But what it is like when you're an immigrant group and you're black on top of that and you're African, they hate you to be successful. They hate you to be successful. Now, if we were like European immigrants, like maybe Bosnians who are Muslims or Russians, and they become successful, nobody would blink an eye because they're white. But the fact that we're brown people from Africa, do you know what I mean? It kills them. Because the way we move, we don't move like we're inferior to anybody, right? And it's bothering them. And our name has reached the White House. That's how powerful the Somali community is. Wallahi, I have this thing where if Somalis work together, the only problem Somalis have is like, we need to build our country back. Wallahi billahi, we could have been like we could have been a superpower nation. How gifted Allah has made Somalis in making money, in being successful, in being able to see opportunity everywhere they go.
Everyone, this is Mayor Nadia Mohammed, and I know there's been a lot of conversation about Somalis here in the state of Minnesota. And here's the thing, I could get on here and tell you guys what an amazing contribution we have been to the state of Minnesota. That there are school teachers, doctors, lawyers, engineers, police officers who are doing amazing job in and outside of the Twin Cities area. I could get on here and tell you guys why they came to this state, why they came to this country. I could tell you that they have fled wars, that my own grandfather, my mom's dad, has passed away after a missile attack, or that my dad, after not having anything to eat for an entire day, scrapped together some beans with his friends only for his friend to get hit by a stray bullet. I could tell you all of that, but how hard they work or what struggles that they have faced should not define whether they're good Americans or not. It should not be connected to whether they deserve rights or not. Because the matter of the fact is, we do, and we are here, and we are staying here. But the most important part here is, and I want you guys to leave with this, is that this administration has used the government to attack its own people, like a virus attacking its own host. It's not even a hyperbole. That's exactly what's happening. Because we see Mexican Americans under attack. We see ICE going after immigrant communities. We see these terrorists squeezing every last dollar out of small town farmers. We see everybody being squeezed out of their last dollar for everything they're worth. And we see them being discriminated against.
Manta Manta or Malin Wayne Manta means today is a big day. Alhamdulillah, this is your brother Khalid Umar, who was leading that rally on Sunday at Carmel. You know, we wanted to respond in the most Minnesotan way, and one of the best ways we thought about it was to do a potluck. It brings community, because what Trump was trying to do was trying to divide us and attack our community, our Somali community here in Minnesota. But what we know is that it was all distraction. Trump is very unpopular. He has not been able to do or deliver any of the promises that he made on his agenda. But in fact, what he did was to give the largest tax cut to billionaires. So that's the real issue. The issue is Trump is not delivering for Minnesotans, for Americans across the country. So we wanted to respond and showcase that this is a distraction. And Minnesotans, regardless of where we live and who we are, we know what Trump is doing. It is a distraction, and you will never be able to pit us against each other.
See, the thing about the Somalis in Minnesota is they're just the distraction. They're just the fall guy. Do you think that they're getting these federal grants and state grants without a white person signing off on them? Without a white person benefiting from this money being funneled through their community? The thing is, the same thing has happened in all other communities, but the other communities have been here long enough that they know how to itemize certain expenses. They know the loopholes. They got their lawyers on deck. So they're doing the same shit with the money, but it's just the immigrants are doing it more blatant because they're coming across from overseas so trusting. This is a land of milk and honey, so they hiding cash in their mattresses and shit like that. Whereas these people over here have offshore accounts. They have everything itemized. They have everything expensed a certain way. But it's just a distraction.
I hate that I will never experience the happiness that Somali haters experienced when they actually thought the TPS program affected more than 9 Somalis. Like, they really thought that was it. All the Somalis are just going to disappear. Like, poof, all of a sudden, no Somalis. Cedar Riverside is Mexican neighborhood now, or maybe not even a Mexican neighborhood. But yeah, it would likely just become a Mexican neighborhood. Yeah, and then, of course, Somalis have to be buzzkills by informing them of how many people that shit actually affects. You should have just let them be happy, you know? Hey, how about this? You pretend to deport us, and we pretend to be deported. Deal? Once again, for those who don't know, Somalis came to America in one big lump sum. Now, we came all at once in the late 90s, early 2000s. By the 2010s, 90% of us were citizens, and by the 2020s, 99% of us were citizens. The immigration process has nothing to do with us anymore. Right? It's done. It's ball game. You might have had something back in 2005, but it's 20 years too late. I promise you, the Trump administration tried to look at ways to deport us and found out they genuinely had nothing. Like, it's decades too late. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to collect welfare and impregnate a white woman.
It gets bad here, man. I just don't want to be here no more. Just pray to God just. I'm just tired of you guys talking about me and just always talking shit. You guys just don't even know how to just leave me alone. I'm just so tired. No.
This moment has become one of the biggest wake-up call for all immigrant communities across the United States. For years, Somali-Americans, especially in states like Minnesota, Ohio, and Maine, were told that Trump was a strong leader. Some believed he would restore order, create opportunities, and protect their families. But today, those same families are realizing the harsh reality of politics, that promises are temporary and policies are permanent, and the impact of this policy will change lives forever. Let's be clear. TPS is not a luxury. It's a lifeline for families who escaped civil war, a lifeline for mothers who lost everything in Mogadishu, a lifeline for mothers who are given a second chance in America, a lifeline for fathers who fled Al-Shabaab threats and came to the US hoping to provide safety for their children. So ending TPS cuts livelihoods, it cuts dreams, and it cuts the future of an entire communities. Now many Somali immigrants are asking, how will we survive without legal status? And how did the leader we trusted turn on us? Many feel ashamed, used, and manipulated for their votes, because supporting a politician only to be punished with deportation is the deepest form of betrayal. Let's talk about the accusations Trump made. They claim that Somali families committed massive fraud, firstly, diagnosing children with autism to receive government benefits. These allegations alone created a storm of stigma, fear, and anger. And for thousands of Somali parents who care deeply about their children, these accusations were a slap in the face. They were not just accused of fraud, they were accused of funding terrorism, a painful and dangerous label. This narrative has now been used to justify terminating TPS, a decision that feels more like political retaliation than policy. Now some are afraid to go to work, some are afraid to pick up their kids from school, and some are afraid to even answer the door. Fear has replaced hope, uncertainty has replaced stability, and regret has replaced loyalty. This situation should serve as a reminder for all immigrant communities. Your vote has power, and your vote has consequences. When you support someone who has a history of targeting immigrants, don't be surprised when the next target becomes you. Somalis for Trump, I believe they were choosing safety, stability, and strength. But today, they are watching their legal protection crumble, their dignity attacked, and their future hanging by a thread. This message is clear. American immigrant communities must protect themselves. No politician will do it for them. As Somali families brace for what comes next, the world watches. Because this isn't just a policy issue, it's a human issue. It's about children who may lose the only country they've ever known. It's about workers who contribute to the US economy being pushed into the shadows, and about families facing the possibility of being torn apart. And in the end, one question remains: how do you trust a leader who protects you during the election only to deport you after? This is a painful story of Somali immigrants today, and they will never forget this moment. And the political landscape, especially for immigrant voters, will never be the same again. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.